All right, Cop Talk Live, changing cop culture. It's been a while. Hope you guys are doing well. If this is the first time you're watching, my name is Dominic Izzo. I'm a retired police officer from out here in the northwest suburbs of Chicago. Just a toilet of a city. Don't even get me started on what's going on there. And every Wednesday night, we come together to actually set the standard of excellence for what law enforcement and cop culture should be. And we have a long damn way to go. It is Wednesday. I've been gone for quite a while, so I appreciate you guys putting up with the past stuff. So give you a breakdown if you're brand new, because I got a lot of followers on certain platforms. I criticize the shit out of law enforcement. I openly am critical. I am not anti-cop. I'm anti-bad cop, and I think, sadly, the profession is no longer a few bad apples. Those few bad apples have been allowed to, through the adages of such and such things like what is it? What was that damn thing they did several years ago? Humanizing the badge, which was the worst thing on the fucking planet for cops. It has created a shit ton of rotten, spoiled little apples that have completely destroyed the orchard. We gotta do some housekeeping before we get through this. Don't forget, coptalklive.org. Just go ahead and coptalklive.org is our main website. Holy crap, man. The phones aren't open yet, kids. I'll get to you. Put your pants back on. I know you're excited. I've been gone for about a month. It's okay. Coptalklive.org. When you go there, it's going to ask you to enter your email address. We're going to give you updates about law enforcement, articles, police critiques, use of force videos, and more. We will not spam you. Please make sure you go as well to support Copville, Mike from Copville. We need to grow his platform because he's got some of the most amazing guests on when it comes to his content. His latest one is with Jordan Enos over on Copville on YouTube, as well as Antihero Podcast. Mike is a part of that with Tyler. Police chief sexually assaults his dispatcher. I did not get into that one, but that is their latest video, the Antihero broadcast. And also, lastly, I know people like Sheriff Grady Judd are anti-TRT for their guys, which fucking blows me away. I'm anti-female cop. I'm vehemently anti-female cop, but you know what? I'm anti-soy boy cop as well, too. If you're over the age of 35 and you have not gotten your testosterone or hormone levels checked, for the love of God, get it done. I don't care what it is. If you can't breathe at night because you're fat laying on your pillow, if you've got brain fog, if that adipose around your midsection is preventing you from even walking properly, when is the last time you got an erection that actually lasted when you're a man that's over 40 or 50 years old and you're pleased with it, the volume of your loads, all that shit. Everything that being a man is in alignment with testosterone. If you haven't gotten yours checked yet, it is imperative that you do. I'm so tired of people saying, oh, it's steroids. It's the necessary hormone that is within the males. And when you want to let your shit go to the side, you want to be more, what is it? What's the progesterone? Not the progesterone. Estrogen shit, then do that. But I honestly think that a more well-balanced male who has proper testosterone hormone levels will actually have the proper brain function to operate on the job. So go to hp-trt.com. hp-trt.com, and Human Performance Team is somebody that I strongly recommend you getting your hormones evaluated through. Let me look before I get started on this. I'll look at the comment section. It's over. Where's my glasses? I'm getting old. I can't even read you guys' stuff over here. Rachel Morgan, hello, what's going on? No more than any citizen, whatever that is. Sarah Nichols, how are you? Casey Lopez from Facebook, good to see you. Nathan, how are you, man? 1974 Rail, love your content. I appreciate that. Freeman Keys, how are you? Sup? Gun, Kentucky, no. Guys, if you do appreciate the work, go click on some of the content or the links below. Go click on them. Buy me a coffee. It's very easy. When I left, I was out of town for a month last month, and the amount of people who continue to email and text me, I got all your stuff. I'm backlogged hundreds and hundreds of messages, and a lot of you want me to go ahead and take care of and investigate some of the police misconduct in your area, and I will be more than happy to. Go ahead and support my work if you feel what I do is of value to you. It's great. Good to see everybody on Instagram. I cannot interact with you. Sorry about it. But if you guys want to switch over to Facebook like normal adults or Instagram, or excuse me, YouTube, it is what it is. All right, I have to post this because I don't give a shit about cops' lives. I don't, let me clarify this for a second. I don't care about cops' personal lives, not one damn bit. You will notice, and I said this in one of the last videos I did, I never post about fallen police officers on my page. I don't. I stopped doing that a long time ago. For the simple reason is they may be a great cop, but I can't vouch for their personal character. I did a video talking about the toxic culture of law enforcement, especially when I ran for sheriff in 2018. And there was a cop, retired cop from Niles, who was just a grade A piece of shit. He was an abhorrent fucking human being. And when he died, I was actually happy because he is just not a good person. So should we celebrate him for being a cop? If you're not a good person of character, how can you bring that into law enforcement and serve the people properly? I think this is sadly one of the things in the humanizing the badge movement that they got wrong, right? We wanted this under the Biden, or not the Biden, it was Biden, he was part of it. The Obama administration, the war on cops really started. That was when the shot heard around the world, right? Barack Obama did something I've never seen a sitting U.S. president do, which was to openly criticize law enforcement without having all the facts. He stepped up to the podium. He talked about the Cambridge police were acting stupidly when he went to that whole thing of two Cambridge police arrested a man trying to get into his own home. He was black, of course. So, you know, the great divider in chief had it. And this is back when I was an Obama supporter. You know, I'm just right of center, but I do believe, and there's certain things that some liberals, not progressive, actually bring to the table that actually are pleasant. Not that they make sense. They're idealistic. But back then, I did believe in Obama. I bought it hook, line, and sinker. And when that man went to the podium and said the Cambridge police acted stupidly, he opened up the war on police. You don't have to have all the evidence, and you can crucify cops. I get the intent. Back then, it was Mike the Cop and Officer Daniels started to move this movement of humanizing the badge, right? We need to make people care about cops. The sad thing is it's gotten so bad, especially after the lockdown, and all these seasoned cops have been retiring and leaving, and these children who are coming in place, they now believe it's all about them. They believe it's all about them. And with the advent of social media and a chance for you to have an audience in front of you that now listens to you because you have a shiny piece of metal on your chest, your word means something. That's the only thing these fucking kids who are on TikTok are doing. They have a voice. Something matters to them. Their trans issues, their religious issues, their political issues, whatever it is, their sociological, economic issues, and no one gave a shit until they put the uniform on and were in a squad car doing a live video. Now all of a sudden, Officer so-and-so matters, so they could talk about stuff. I did this video yesterday, and I'm going to play it. We're going to make you aware of it. This is Vinton Police Department, Louisiana, Police Chief Scott Spell. His contact information, if you are a resident of Vinton, Louisiana, you need to sit there and hold this man accountable for what goes on in his department, because apparently either he doesn't know or he doesn't give a shit. And this is his boss, Mayor Bonnie Jo Banson. It's her information if you are a concerned resident of Louisiana, Vinton, Louisiana, then maybe you want to reach out to her and ask her why she appointed a man who really doesn't know the ongoings of his police department, or worse, does, and he's not doing anything about it. I just want to look at some very public postings from the public Facebook page for the Vinton Police Department and talk about an issue that they need to be aware of, or all of you throughout America need to be aware of, especially you cops who are opening up yourselves for disaster. I swear, I keep talking about this. We care about you, but if you don't care about yourself and you don't care about the profession, then seriously, you need to be pushed out. And if this is what it leads to, then so be it. This is from a couple days ago. This is one of Vinton Police Department's police officers, Officer Corey Edison, being a part of community service, right? Someone asked me the other day if I could define what community policing is, and I said it's a redundant term. I love to see this. I love to see people, cops, if you will, who are getting involved with the people of the town they work with. Nothing is better than that. Here again is Officer Edison doing community stuff, doing what 90% of the job as a police officer is. It's dealing with the public. I know we all like to glorify the other 10%, but this is what the job is, actually being a representative of the town that you work for. More community policing. I couldn't be prouder of this kind of stuff. I think this is the stuff that really matters in law enforcement. Again, 90% of the work that cops do is working with the public on a level that needs to make them personable. This is badass. But this is the public side. This is Officer Corey Edison. This is what the 30 by 30 agenda has been stressing for the last several years and wants 30% of the cops on the street to be females by the year 2030. This is what they say it's all about. But we need to take a look at the private side of Officer Edison and see if it matches what her public side is. Now, I just want to point out again, for all of you guys who post on social media and try to cover your patches and whatnot, I want to tell you this. It is so fucking easy to find out where you work. Myself and several other content creators, we talk behind the scenes and we want to actually sharpen the profession. And we find people like you who are abusing it, and we expose to the rest of the world of what not as a cop to be, especially on social media. That being said, remember, you did this to yourself. This is an open, public page. And my God, I picked the wrong line of work. I should be a defense attorney to use every bit of evidence you post against you to bankrupt the police department and question every stop you've ever made, every ticket you've ever written, and every arrest you have ever put out to see if it matches lawful or if it matches what you abused your authority based on how you view the job and your mental health for that day. This is some of the content Officer Edison posted while in her squad car on duty. You could pause and read for yourself without me actually bringing in the tone of what I think she's meaning, and ask yourself, is this something I want to see someone as a cop that works for my town or village representing themselves online publicly? Ask yourself this.
Gotta take the good with the bad. Smile with the same. And remember.
And if you always hear me say I hate this job, and you see me at work the next day, whoop-de-doo. Because guess what, baby? I'm going to come to work. Because who going to pay these bills?
So hold your head.
Muting it because I'm not about to get dinged with the copyright stuff over on YouTube.
It's been a day.
And it's going to be hard for you to read, but I actually post these captions for a second.
Myself.
A lot of you think it's a fucking joke, and you think that the humanizing the badge movement was supposed to humanize cops. No, it was actually supposed to get cops to see people as humans, right? People they coexist with on the planet. It was supposed to build a relatability factor, but instead, what it did was backfire and now make the cops world about me, and fuck the citizens. Here's the deal. I don't want a cop who's going to be sitting there posting up on their very public social media. They're fed up. They hate working. This blows, and tag their policewoman. This is insane. How do you have somebody who has a badge and a gun and the ability to take away your freedom and or life if she deems it discretionary, if she can articulate it? Again, is this something that's just going on through her cycle of the month? Is she PMSing? This is not the mindset I want somebody publicly acknowledging on the street. We all know the job is shitty. We all know the job fucks with us. But if they're going to publicly post this is a real goddamn issue. Just 5 days ago, the same cop, this was so healing, found happiness again, stay mad, unbothered. This is a child who is leveraging her uniform for attention and posting the emotional roller coaster she is going on. And Chief, you gave her a badge and a gun and the ability to take away someone's freedom or kill them if she can articulate it? How the fuck do we know that she's just not going to have a bad day crying in her squad over what relationship she's going over and some citizen's going to pay the fucking price for it? It's all in her own words. It really don't help that I ain't been... Yeah, sometimes I can't even listen to myself talk for a while. I was pissed when I made this simply because of the fact that I don't want this on the streets. I don't. And of course, some of the comments I read earlier about this, Brittany Donahue, this is so far stretched, it's not even funny. Number one, she quoted a song and you're upset. Secondly, cops are human beings. They aren't robots. They have lives. To say that she's going to murder someone is disgusting. Blatant sexism and absolutely disgusting. Referring to someone as a hot piece of ass, or maybe she's PMSing, isn't just immature. It's offensive, degrading, and deeply inappropriate. None of that matters when you're a cop. If you can't handle being spoken to that way, then get the fuck out of the profession. And yes, there have been several studies that are out there that say that females' brains during their monthly cycles are changing. The way they perceive issues and how they wind up handling issues is a massive deal. So when you show up to a scene and you've got somebody that I don't know as a call for service by a neighbor, or you as a cop and you're female, witness them doing something and it's not what it is because your perception is off because you're fucking on the rag that day and you forgot to take your Midol, so your hormones are imbalanced. How do we know the guy's not going to go, officer, I didn't do that? And you go, oh my God, he was coming right for me, and you emptied your magazine into him. And then, of course, because how the world is right now with cops, everyone's going to go, well, she was clearly smaller than him. She couldn't have put him in custody. The guy fucked around and found out. 100%. You're seeing it all the time. I want to look at Mustang police. I would love to find out. There was a Mustang police officer, black female, not too long ago, shot a man to death who had a pair of gloves in his hands. She went to use taser. He was having a mental health episode. His family called. I believe it was the cousin. He was on the roadside. She couldn't take him into custody. She couldn't. Not that he broke the law, but it was a mental health episode. It was a mental health fucking crisis. And what does this female officer do? She goes to tase him first. Goes to tase him. And then when he charges her because he's fucking clearly out of his mind, it's an officer safety issue, she guns him down and murders him. Well, A, female, can't do the job. If you can't fucking take somebody to custody by yourself, I don't care what gender you are, you don't belong on the job. B, I want to know if she was on her cycle that day. I want to know if she had hormonal problems. Your HIPAA should not be even remotely lawfully covered if you're a cop. If you get into any type of use of force or shooting, it should be lawfully demanded that you have your mental health checks, which should be done frequently, and your blood work done. We should check your cycle. You should be 100% available to the powers that be and the public to see if you dealt with the citizens the right way. So you can't come to this place. Oh, it's so inappropriate. No, what's inappropriate is giving women guns and the ability to take away someone's freedom when you know that they're going to be bitches for a week out of a month. No, absolutely not. That's completely inappropriate. You don't know this woman, her circumstances, or what she deals with beyond her job. You are fucking a right. And I don't care. See, here's the problem when it comes to people like this female here. I don't give a shit. And it's not fair that I have that juvenile there up with her. So let me clear that up. I don't give a shit about her personal life. Someone else said in the comments section that she had just gone through a divorce and her fiance cheated on her or something. And someone else had said, I'll read this. Let me read this because I don't know what's going on in her personal life. Thank you for proving my point for this. Let's see. Yeah, she quoted a song. You're a douche. Quoted a song. But Dominic Izzo, Corey, who's that cop, has no morals either. She had an affair with a married coworker, another officer. That said officer was married to my daughter at the time, and Corey would talk to my daughter like there was nothing going on. Okay, so number one, a lot of cops cheat. But now we know their moral character is in question, right? Someone else, I can't find out where this is. Someone had commented that she actually was just cheated on by her fiance. Well, there's my thing right there. If we're going to sit there and say, we don't know what's going on in her personal life, so far, yeah, we do. She got cheated on by her fiance, so she's an emotional fucking wreck, and she's fucking other married men, so she has no integrity. She has no business being a cop. See, here's the thing. You Karens out there will go to Starbucks, and when you order your soy frappe latte, even though, my God, I cannot wait for eggnog lattes to come on the menu. It's 1,000 calories I don't need. If you get it wrong, you're going to be the first person to say, you got this wrong, I want a free one. You're not going to give a shit if the clerk behind the counter broke up with her boyfriend the night before, didn't get any sleep, he blindsided her by cheating on her, and she's an emotional wreck. You don't care. You want your fucking latte. But all of a sudden, you care about cops' lives, right? You care about cops' lives. How many of you will get a surgical procedure and then you find out, hey, by the way, that mass that's growing in your stomach, that's a sponge we left in you, and now it's fucking up your intestines. The doctor had a bad day. The doctor got divorced, and his wife was cheating on him, and he was just an emotional wreck that day. You don't care. But you're telling me you give a shit about cops' personal lives behind the scenes? The fuck you do. The fuck you do. I will tell you from personal experience. It doesn't matter if it's a stolen UPS package, somebody takes your bike off the front lawn, the kids from school, they start moseying through your lawn in between a shortcut to get from where they're going to where you go. You don't care what the problem is. You want the cops to solve shit immediately, no matter how petty it is. I can guarantee you, Brittany Donahue, that if you got in the way of your biscuit that you were eating that morning because construction crews were making too much noise and the cop shows up and she just can't figure out how to say, guys, it's too early in the morning to be doing this work. You're disturbing our residents who are trying to cram their fat fucking faces over their morning coffee. You're going to be like, I don't care that you didn't get any sleep the night before and you had a problem with your boyfriend who cheated on you. Go do your fucking job. The lives of cops do not matter. They don't. And anybody who says that they do, you are full of shit until it comes time for you to dial 911 or you get in that accident, right? Somebody T-bones you at the intersection. You had the right of way. They don't have insurance. They're looking to flee the scene. Cop shows up. I don't care what you have, what your problems is. I don't care that you're sitting in a box alone by your car, in your car by yourself, dwelling on your personal problem. You get yourself in gear, do the fucking job that we pay you to do. So I love these hypocrites who come to the content and say, we need to humanize the badge. Humanizing the badge was the worst thing you ever did for cops. They're not important. They're not. The citizens are important. If you are not bringing your A game of excellence to every single call, every single shift, don't do the job. Well, they don't get enough sleep. Fucking cut something out. They don't do this. Change it. Cops have family lives and with their kids too. Divorce them and fucking leave them. Don't get married. Don't get married. Don't have kids until your life is over as a cop. I don't give a shit anymore. The excuses that we give for shitty law enforcement is a massive stain on the profession, and it allows people like Brittany to sit there and come into the comment section and say, we need to give them a break. Sure. Until you've got somebody breaking into your home, raping your fucking children, murdering your dog, and you want Brittany to show up with all of her mental faculties. You want her to show up clear-headed, concise, and know what to do, and to be able to distinguish between the bad guy and your husband and not gun your husband down, right? Brittany guns the husband down. Oh, yeah, I should have looked at her TikTok because her TikTok clearly said, hate this job, tired of this shit. Well, clearly she didn't want to do her job. Brittany, oh, you gunned my husband down. My fiance cheated on me last night. Oh, girl, sit down. Let me pour you a glass of wine. Let's talk. You fucking hypocrites are insane. And you're the reason why we have such bad cops in the street, because your inept ability to comprehend what the fuck the job is all about is truly, truly destroying this profession. More citizens need to learn Wing Chun. I agree. Gary Chapman. I'm going to be talking about Gary Chapman a little bit more. One of the best things that happened, it's kind of like, fuck you, Gary Chapman, because he got reinstated for some massive bullshit, and I'm very happy for him, very proud for him. And the rest, well, I did too, but I had to resign the next day. That was part of my reinstatement. But Gary Chapman, I will be talking about the unbelievable bullshit hell that man went through, and thank God was cleared the right way with his department. Mike Phillip. Oh my God, it's good to see Mike Phillip on the American Duck Radio. I have a police story that you would enjoy, something that happened with Dangerous Drug House 3 doors down. Well, we'll talk to you about that. Keto 50. Yes, Keto 50. I got your DM. We need to have you on to talk about health and wellness for law enforcement. Imagine being a son of a female cop. Now I know why. First Best Gigi. Saw a video the other day. A woman couldn't take another woman into custody. It happens all the time. Brittany, we're talking about you. Brittany comments, you're so obsessed with women's cycles, it's hilarious. Tell me you're an uneducated sexist without telling me you're an uneducated sexist. It's disgusting. Grow up, buddy. Brittany, you're the one watching. It's okay. You're the one watching. And trust me, you blame me for fat shaming. How you squeezed into that wedding dress is incredibly impressive. So good job, girl. And yes, you and your emotional outbursts at the fact you can't handle what a man has to say is proof women have no reason whatsoever to be in law enforcement. I'm overdue on voicemails. I got a lot of backlog. I'm going to play some of them. Got to hear what you guys have to say. 708-982-0974. Brittany, you can call in anytime you want, too. Sure as I can. All right, let me backtrack this a little bit. Where am I at?
Hey, Dominic, it's Trevor calling all the way from Canada. I love watching your videos, and I agree that there's something needs to be done about police officers. But the big problem is it's not that it's the training is part of the.
Yeah, if you're calling in to interrupt the voicemail, you must have something important. Go ahead.
Hey, Dominic, it's Nathan. How are you doing?
Nathan, what the fuck are you interrupting my voicemails for?
I got a little question to ask you.
Ask away, Nathan.
Should there be martial arts, more martial arts in law enforcement?
It's a generalized. It's fitness. There should be fitness standards, and there should be training, no matter what it is. We have no standard whatsoever for it, and it needs to change. In a general answer, yes.
Because nowadays it's all, they don't teach it anymore, which is mind-boggling.
I know, dude. I know. I appreciate you.
So, all right. Yeah, I just had to ask you that question. So,
all right. Appreciate you, Nathan. Talk later.
Hey, also, I shared your live, too.
Thank you, dude. I really appreciate what you do for us, for Copville and Antihero Podcast. We're a big fan of you.
All right. You're welcome.
Thank you, man. All right. Let me hear this again.
Problem is we're hiring the wrong people. And your video about the tactical squad or the SWAT squad shooting that guy in the hallway there where he's begging and pleading for his life. You look at that guy, he looked like a kid you picked on in high school, and a cool breeze could push him over. And he shouldn't have been hired by the police department. And the training does suck, but the accountability sucks, the supervision sucks, and the whole aspect of things going sucks. The other thing I really don't understand, and I'm in Canada, you get pulled over for a traffic violation, you don't pay, they hand you the ticket, they give you the options, they explain the options, they hand you the ticket, and they walk away. What is it with this whole sign the ticket crap? It's absolute crap. And it gives police officers carte blanche to arrest and tase and beat up and respect my authority, and it's just a bunch of malarkey. I'd love to know what is so special about signing the ticket. Like, what is the whole thing? Yeah, you promise you're going to take care of it, but even signing it doesn't mean you're going to deal with it. I'd love to talk to you about that one for sure, especially about the ticket signing. The rest of it, like I say, I fully believe in what you say. I live in a city where our police department refuses to get body cameras. They say it's not going to change anything. They don't have the money, and yet they have $107 million of a budget to do it. There's just no accountability, and even if the citizens do something.
Yeah, stop giving money to overseas nations and start investing in more in our police departments. When it comes down to signing the ticket, I never understood that. What is the difference? It just makes no difference at all. And he's referring to a video that I reviewed of a cop that basically killed a man. The man was in an accident, and the cop wanted him to sign the ticket, and he lost his temper, and he tried to take him into custody. The guy was a preacher, and goes down to the ground, has a heart attack, and dies on scene. All for a signature for a fucking at-fault ticket. Blows me away. I know some states went away from that, but it goes from when you're a cop and you have a challenge on any level, it turns into a pissing match. It really does. If I say, hey, listen, sign this ticket, it doesn't mean you admit you're at fault. It acknowledges you're getting the ticket. I could explain it like crazy, and somebody just says, no, I'm sorry, officer, I'm refusing to sign it. Some states would take you into custody. We had that option in Illinois. I could take you into custody, handcuff you, tow your car, bring you back to the lockup, fingerprint you, issue you an I-bond. If you sign that, you sign that. You don't, you don't. I could put refuse on it. It's all because you pissed me off in my fragile ego. That's it. That's it. What is wrong with writing refused on the ticket? So I never understood that. I never understood that at all. I want to see what else we have.
Mr. Izzo, my name's Kurt Miles. See, this is the Illinois number. I'm originally from Galesburg, Illinois. I live down in Texas now. I'm a retired private investigator. I've worked private security, military security, security overseas, yada, yada, yada. 99% of my friends are cops, federal agents, deputies, all that. I just wanted to say I really respect your views, and I admire you for standing up. I know a ton of cops, and I know maybe 3 of them that really like being a cop. It's very refreshing to hear somebody stand up like a man and say the truth. I really respect you for that. I'm sorry if I called so late. I'm very much a night owl.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I do my best on stuff.
Hello.
Yeah, you're live. What's going on?
Hey, so I think you mentioned something interesting earlier is the mentality of police. And there's something I don't think a lot of people just don't mention, including you, I think is absolutely atrocious. And it's specifically the military to police pipeline. That's probably one of the worst things I see. When I was in the military, the amount of guys that would just think about killing, all they thought about was killing. I had guys coming into my office, breaking the doors down, fighting me, fighting each other, just wanting to go to Afghanistan and kill. That's all they thought about. And now now I see them on Instagram, right? Everything. Now they're in the police force serving the public. How do you go from wanting to kill to wanting to protect people? That's absolutely insane. And
you have such a great nuanced question. And my first, number one, can we agree that times have changed? Meaning, my father, was married at 21 years old and had my sister, I think, when he was 21. So before me. Can we agree, and before that, let's go back to the World War II generation. Can we agree that the certain mentality of generations before us were capable of handling different types of level of maturities at an earlier life status than they are now?
For the most part. I think it was also hidden a lot.
Do you agree that most 18-year-olds today are ready to buy homes and start families?
Oh, no.
Do you think they have the mental maturity to do it?
Definitely not.
Okay. So if we take that into consideration, do you think the same mentality applies for those who are signing up for the military today versus in the 1940s?
I think both in the 1940s and today, it was easy to brainwash an 18-year-old to want to kill.
Now, I think you should. Here's why. This is my caveat. It's an extremely nuanced answer. I think one of the worst things in the world for warfare was the media. When they start going over there, the Vietnam War, I think it should be the standing job of an army to annihilate the enemy. I think Rome had it right. I think murder, kill, destroy every man, woman, and child of your enemy. I literally think that. That's a warfare contact, right? I didn't say it's right, didn't say it's wrong. I said it's for the war. So when people are like, oh, so that means you're anti that, I don't care about Palestine and Israel. I'm trying to prove a fucking point, right? Yes, when it comes to an enemy, if I had the emperor's staff of the world and 9/11 happened, and we knew who factually it was, remove all conspiracies. I'm painting a very, very, very black and white picture. And it was this group A, B, and C located in this country. That country, I do not care. Every single person would die. Every single person would die. And it would be the horrible, horrible, horrible job of me to set the standard. You fuck around with us as a country, there will be nothing left of you. You make a very bold, disgusting, horrible statement. Now, that being said, clearly, I was never in the military. Clearly, I don't know what their trainings and tactics are. Clearly, I think you have a lot of things have changed. I have several friends who are my age who were Marines, were in the Army, and it's not the same today. Like, you can't discipline people in there, can't lay your hands on them, you can't haze them, all this shit. We have a bunch of pussies in the military just as much as we have on cops. When I became a cop in 2001, my department was 35 sworn, and 6 or 8 of them were Marines. They had a lot of good attributes. I mean, pistol discipline, appearance. Their uniforms were always, boots always shined, uniforms tailored. I mean, you name it. They brought into the department a level of self-respect that if we, like the people who were like me, bartenders who became cops, well, I don't think I could have brought that in. I looked at them as these are the role models. I saw them do things that were kind of, damn, you're definitely a fucking jarhead, where they would like run towards a burning building, you know, to go, and I'd have to remind them, go, hey, Dan, your uniform is fully made of polyester. It's not a good idea. It will melt to you, right? I never experienced any of that, you know, kill mindset. Not to say it doesn't exist. Where I agree with you on that is that's already a pre-existing problem we have in law enforcement. Sure. In the comment of the video I put up yesterday, one of the statements I had made was that 90% of police work is just community service, but we glorify 10%. Well, a cop put in this comment section, I love the other 10%. We have men and women who are fucking looking to get in fights. They're looking to get in gunfights. They have no idea what the reality of violence is. And I think that's a lot of what's going on right now, where we're not in a real wartime, where military men and women are going through that, and they're going to leave that and bring it to law enforcement. But sadly, we already have civilians who are warped and fucking brain dead. And it's like, one of the biggest things I think they need to change for law enforcement is I was in fear for my safety. Like, if you get into a shooting, you're supposed to go, I was in fear for my safety, and blah, blah, blah. Sure. Or like people who sit there and say that, you know, cops have the most dangerous job in the world. They go up to cars. They know what's going to happen. They're looking for that. Like cops on a very public level. They don't even hide it. They're looking to sit there and be the next person who gets in a gunfight on the side of the road because they stopped somebody who actively resisted them, pulled a knife for a gun. They want to be that person who is now like, dude, yeah, because we see it on reels glorified. We see the public is always saying, hey, man, fuck around, find out. They like that. They want that accolades. It's not the most dangerous job in the world, but cops want that 10%. They're watching people go to domestics and turn to gunfights. Oh, I would have done this. I would have done this. So I will say that the biggest thing is we have to get rid of that phrase, I was terrified for my safety. No, you fucking worked. You wanted it. You wanted it. We have a very big mental health problem with the candidates we're hiring on the street right now. And I don't know if it's necessarily a problem for the military that brings in that mindset when we have unfamiliar people with violence who've never experienced violence wanting to be in a job where they want to commit violence on other people. That, I think, is more of a problem in law enforcement than it is in the military.
I completely agree with you. I think part of it is the militarization of the police force versus like in Europe where police are seen as more friendly. And I think that it's also because in the U.S., we spend almost every department will spend as much money as they can, infinite amount of money practically on new weapons, but they won't spend it.
No one trains it on
mental health care.
Yeah, the mental health is a stigma and a half. It never happens. Cops hate to they hate to admit mental health. They don't ever want to go get therapy. But here's the circular problem. I don't want when I went to get my test done. I'll never forget this. I had my psych test done in 2001. Had to go down to Chicago, and I took this fucking test for 4 hours. And during the test, I was in a room full of people. You had to stay quiet. You had to stay quiet. There's like 20 of us in a room. One by one, the female doctor comes in and says, hey, you know, Mr. Rizzo, I'd like to interview you. Go in there, interview you. Great, this and that kind of stuff. At the end of the test, they ran my Scantron through the machine. And it had like 800 questions. And it was a test from 1983. And it was the same fucking test I took for my last department in 2013, right? So nothing changed. My favorite question on there was true or false. I like to repair broken door hinges. What's the fucking answer? Well, here's what my thought process is. True, because here's something broken. I want to fix it, right? I want them to perceive that as that. The woman said, she simply said this after she ran my shit at the Scantron. We'd like to give you an opportunity to take the test again. I said, what? She says, we'd like to give you an opportunity. I said, did I fail? She says, we'd like to give you. I said, lady, I don't have an Oedipus complex. I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm not fucked up. I said, explain to me. I took the fucking test again. This time I took it in a room full of 5 guys from a city that used to be called Ford Heights. And it was a group multiple choice test. What'd you put for number 4 on 27? It was fucking hilarious. The mental health game and the psych test are a fucking joke. You want to talk about the militarization of police? It doesn't bother me as much. You know, a lot of people see the outside vest carrier covers that are all mollied up. I think it's a little bit overboard and shit, but I would rather have you have a pair of scissors and gauze on your tactical thing, sure. And maybe through I would rather, that's fine. You'll never need it, but if you do, great, it's there. But they don't train with it. They don't. I will guarantee you 95% of the cops who are carrying some type of all jacked up AR-15 that's got 3 scopes on it, a laser sighting, and the dual side by side, they have never fucking trained with it. That's the problem.
Sure. And I think a part of training should be training, you know, with your gear, right? You should always know what gear you're using. But part of that training is mental health. We need more mental health training. Spend more money on mental health because of shit like what you did, right? If we had unlimited budget for mental health, you wouldn't have to deal with that bullshit of like, which doorknob do I pick or which doorknob do I fix, right? You could actually go see a doctor.
Yeah, but part of it is too, I don't give a shit about mental health. Suck it up and do the job. I don't care. Everyone is hurting. Everyone is suffering for something. Flip the switch and go to the fucking call and serve the people as needed. I think that this is why that it's very, the sad thing is it'll never be attainable because the Blue Brotherhood is a fucking loaded as shit. I think that it should be incumbent upon your coworkers to go, dude, you're not doing well. Take a day off. Let's go do something. I think mental health should be done within the circle. The mental health game, those doctors are fucked up to begin with. Most people who get involved in psychology, they're getting in it because they're fucked up for themselves. Sure. So I don't trust them any further. I can throw them. I don't think any cop does. You got a great point.
You did just say something. You just said something interesting. As a firefighter, I don't know how it works as a cop, but as a former firefighter, whenever that bell went off, it was a switch. It was a switch. Immediately, all of my personal shit, whatever I had to deal with my family, whether I was tired, whether I was, you know, depressed, all of that went away, and it was game mode. You know, all we cared about was taking people.
That's what I'm saying. It's like anytime someone's like, cops have the hardest job in the world, it's like, dude, you have no idea what you're going to walk up on a traffic stop. They're looking for that shit. They go all day in that box, that one-man squad car in the small Midwestern town where there's nothing to do. It's a Thursday night. They're working midnights. It's 2 o'clock in the morning in February. You know, they are waiting to hear a shots fired call. And they're hoping to get up on scene and get in the fucking heat of it. That's what they want. And they act all badass about it. But then we're going to say cops are terrified for their safety. How are they terrified for their safety? I thought about that today. It was such a phrase I was taught all the time. You get involved in the shooting, you say, I need to go to the hospital, and you learn to put in your report, I was terrified for my safety. I never was. We had several shots fired call, lots of stabbings, lots of shootings. The only time I was ever my asshole puckered was I went to a suicide attempt where I talk about the story. Guy was blaring Frank Sinatra out of his home, and we had to go down a spiral staircase to his basement. You know, so it was very hard to clear the corner. And he was sitting on his bench with just a hunting rifle and a bottle of Sambuca. That was a little bit like, ooh, what's going to come around the corner here? But I wasn't scared. So I just say
that sounds like you met the Joker.
It was ridiculous. But point being is, I was never scared. I don't know any cop that ever was scared. We, as cops, that's what you're hoping and praying for because you want to be the next person featured on somebody's podcast talking about, oh my God, when I got in this shooting. And it's all fun and games, to be honest, until you get in the violence. You know, everyone wants to go hands-on until you hurt someone. And you're like,
what happened?
This is a disgusting feeling that I actually hurt another human being. So, yeah, you got a great point, but I think that it's a bigger problem currently within law enforcement of people who want to commit violence on other people because they don't come from that world and they got into the job because of it.
You know, I can't disagree with that point.
Cool. I appreciate your call, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. 708-982-0974. Yeah, I got to take a couple more.
Hello.
You're live. What's going on?
Hey, Don, man. How you doing? It's Eric. I've texted you before. I'm a big fan of your
Hi,
your
Eric.
show.
Thank you, man. What do you got, dude?
Oh, no, man. Just watching the show, and, just I was listening to the last caller, and I just, I got you made a great point. These cops, they want to run, and they wait for something to happen, right? And I left NYPD Reserves as a lieutenant, and I watched many cops just sitting there just waiting for something like, oh, I want to get involved. Oh, I want to do this and do that. And once they encounter that violence, or they encounter that one individual, they think they're just going to muscle over and arrest them, and that guy fights back, and that guy kicks their ass. Then their whole total life changes. And then they go from being the super cop to wanting the freaking sympathy, and they want, oh, I got hurt. Oh, I got this. I got. You know what? I hate the curse, but fuck
No, you're
you.
fine. Yeah, they tell war stories at work too, right? We have that all the time.
Yeah.
We had a female cop who was 500 pounds of mouth, and she used to talk about all the guys she beat up, and we're like, bitch, we come to your aid all the time. She would brag all the time. I've got more resisting arrest charges than anybody in the department. Yeah, because you jack people up, they get pissed. They resist. You can't take them into custody. We have to go hands on. But yeah, the war stories at the roll call, that was always, it was like, I was guilty of that shit too. It's like, yeah, did you see what so and so did and blah blah. My ego was fed. My ego was fed. We used to have a guy from ICE who used to do Friday ride-alongs with me, and we stopped the car in a felony stop. And when the kid went prone, I literally lifted him up by the back of the shirt. His neck was and back by his ass, and I just picked him up off the ground, and I put him on the trunk of the squad car, and that was an ego thing. When the ICE guy's like, holy shit, you see what Izzo did? He deadlifted the kid. I'm like, yeah, you just fueled my fucking ego, man. Yeah, I know how it is, and it sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. And it's just like, I was like that too until I got my butt kicked, and then I learned the lesson right away. And here's another tough fact I want to make on there with accountabilities with these cops nowadays. Me being a former supervisor, I want to throw this out to all you supervisors out there who are currently on the job on there. Do your fucking job, okay? Your subordinates can get you in trouble right away. Stop holding up on the scene. Stop taking the cop's word, right off the bat. If there's something smells bad, wait till the scene is over. Clear the scene. Get the cop back to station house. Download the goddamn body cam. Do your fucking job, guys. If we don't hold it, the first line, it starts. I mean, it really does start with the officers, but cops, Dominic, are just like kids. They're going to keep doing something if you don't correct them. Okay, so. First line supervisors, start doing your fucking jobs. Do it, investigate, and if there's somebody's acting inappropriate or something like that, take action, man. You're a supervisor. Take action. You know what I'm saying? You keep letting these cops get away, and that's why these cops rank up a long list. I've seen it. I see cops that have been on the force for 25 years, and they have a rap sheet themselves a mile long of disorderly, of just a bunch of write-ups and everything. And why? Because they kept letting them do the same shit, and nobody fucking stood in front of them. You know what? No, you're not going to do this anymore. Yeah, I'm going to write you up. Yeah, I'm going to suspend you. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the unions.
I got to ask you a question, because one of the things so you're with NYPD Reserve, you're still a part of that pulse. How do you respond when you get people who will comment, Chicago, NYPD, LAPD, those are the real cops out there. How do you respond? How do you address to the guy who works for the Department of 10, and he's the only car on the road on midnights? He works 3 on, 3 off, and, county's his backup 45 minutes away. How do you respond to when the public thinks only you are the real police and not somebody like him? What's your response to that?
Well, obviously city cops see a little more action than your cop out in a suburban or rural area. Okay, so that does happen. And when I get that question asked, goes, "Oh, well, you saw more action than somebody in Nassau County, Suffolk County." I said, doesn't mean shit. The job is still the job. You're going to face the same dangers. You're going to face the same job calls. You're going to face everything I face. I might have a little more. I might deal with 3, 4, 5, 6 assault calls doing a regular shift, where a rural cop will probably deal with 2 or 3. But the job is the job. You know what I'm saying? It's never going to change. You still got to do that job. The call's the same. An assault is an assault. A domestic is domestic. You know, disorderly is disorderly, murder, whatever. It's all the same on there. So when people tell me, oh, you were a real cop, I'm like, no, what do you mean real cop? Because I just saw a little bit more action. I'd rather not see more action, to be quite honest with you. But you know what? When you sign up for it, that's what you sign up for. That's why I was loving this conversation you're having. Why are we feeling sorry for cops? No, you don't have to feel sorry for the cops. They sign up for the job. They know what to do. Do the fucking job. So if somebody tells me, oh, you're a real cop, no. Okay, what does that mean? What's a real cop mean? You know what I'm saying? We all do the same job. You know what I'm saying? You were out in the suburbs of Chicago. You face the same shit that Chicago cops did, right?
Yeah, we got their garbage. Whenever
exactly.
them in Milwaukee chased it out, they came by us. So
yeah, and I was in transit, so we dealt with all the perps, coming into the subway system,
that's horrible. That's horrible.
It was not easy. Yeah,
you don't even get to hide in a squad. Yeah, you don't even get to hide in a squad car. Blech. Yeah,
no,
it's a job
you can never hide. You can never hide in transit. You can't hide in the train. You can't hide in the talking booth. You can't anything. We dealt with crap every single day. But you know what, Dom? We did what we had to do. That was the job. You know what I'm saying? We didn't make excuses. You know what I'm saying? If you had a bad day, you left it at the door when you got into the district, And when you left, you go and you handled it. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of excuses. Everybody makes excuses for cops. Well, these bootlickers make excuses for cops. Stop making excuses for cops. Okay, out of 100% of cops out there, 90% are phony. 90% don't do their job right. Only real 10% do their job right. Stop making excuses. And again, I'm all for it. I've seen it. I've seen it first line. If you don't start holding these guys accountable, write them up. Sorry, write them up. You screw up, you write them up. Write them up. Well, they know that their ass is going to be on the line. When they cross that line, things are going to change. But there's no accountability, Dom. I see it all the time. I see it in the videos. I see it, and like the supervisor shows up and it's like, he doesn't even take charge and still stuff goes on. And unless we started, that's one incident, like I said, one part of addressing as many issues going on with law enforcement today, as you're aware, but at least that's one. Let's address that, man. Let's stop these assholes from thinking they can do whatever they want.
There's a lot that needs to be changed. And I respect the fact that you have somebody who's brass, who says that brass needs to actually do their job more. That's I was never brass, but I think I've seen a lot of cops who got screwed over because brass is the root of all evil in their department. So I respect your position. Thank you.
Thank you, Dom, man. I hope to talk to you soon, man.
You got it. I appreciate you. Thank you.
All right, bro.
All right, 708-982-0974. Let me get my cheating glasses on. Guys, do not forget, get your testosterone and your hormones level checked. Go to Human Performance online, hp-trt.com. Literally, are you sick of not seeing your dick because you're fat? Are you sick of it getting maybe 5 or 10 minutes worth of work out of your erection because your blood is so friggin' thick and you just got your arteries clogged and you're not healthy and all this crap? In addition to changing your diet and working out, you need to get your hormones checked, get your mental health back online. You want to talk about mental health? How many of you are out of mental health whack because your hormones are out of whack too? That one of the people who criticized me talking about females before, well, men go through the same thing with their hormones. Yeah, but it's manageable. With you women, you guys are on fucking your 28-day cycle. Then you take birth control, which whacks shit out even remotely. So I think men are far more able to take care of their hormonal issues, and hp-trt.com is where you're going to go.
This is Shannon.
Shannon, it's Dominic Izzo. How are you? You are live.
I have a question, and that is it a reasonable question to ask a random cop to repeat the oath that he swore, like on his first day when he was sworn in, a sworn officer? Should they remember their oath?
I'm going to tell you yes, and I'll tell you why. Two things. Months ago, somebody asked me if I could name all the tenets of the First Amendment, right? Freedom of the press, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to assemble for protest. I can't remember what the last one is. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it was freedom of the press, freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom to assemble, freedom of protest. Maybe that's it. Maybe assemble and protest.
But to redress of grievance.
Okay. Well, somebody also said you should honor your oath, and I went, please don't ask me to repeat it because I don't remember. And I had to go dig through all my paperwork to find I, Dominic Izzo, hereby swear to, I had to look at it. And I don't know if it's the exact same oath, verbatim, town to town, but I thought about that for a second. I never, after signing that, after holding my hand up and the one in the Bible and swearing in before the village hall, court clerk swore me in, I signed the paper, which was it verbatim, filled my name out, then signed it. I never looked at it again. The fact that you asked that question, I don't think that is reasonable. I think that should be mandatory. I think that you should be able to recite on any time your sergeant comes by and says, recite your oath right now. You should. You should be able to drop everything and repeat it verbatim like you just if you study a Bible verse. So I don't think it's reasonable. I think it should be mandatory.
Yeah, it should be more than a formality, swearing that oath.
Yes. For me,
Okay,
it wasn't.
man,
And I don't deny these things because I wasn't the best cop in the world. But I'm going to tell you flat out, it's like I will air my hypocrisy so people don't fuck up like I do. You know, it's like I want people to go, oh yeah, Izzo doesn't know his oath. Well, I want to know mine. So yeah, I appreciate your call, and that's a great point. All right. There you go. 708-982-0974. Do I have anything else I want to listen to or talk to? Let's see. Remember, do not forget to support Copville. Okay. And just saw the answer. Okay, one more. I enjoy speaking, especially on Q&A. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. 760. Got your text. Guys, I appreciate you giving me the time off. You did. There's a lot going on behind the scenes, and I need your support. If you go to the description of this video, you will see several ways to support the channel. You could buy my book, Before the Badge, everything you need to know before you become a cop. You want it signed for whatever reason whatsoever. You want me to ink my butt on it. I don't care. Get a hold of me, and I will... I'll send it out to me. I'll sign it back to you. Whatever. It's available at Amazon, Words Matter Publishing, and BarnesandNobles.com. The link is in the description. You can go to Patreon, become a Patreon member. Link is in the description. PayPal, link is in the description, and buy me a coffee. Everything takes funds. There is so much that needs to be done on this channel to continue to expose bad law enforcement. And I know so many of you have asked a lot of things for me to look into. That's research. That's research and time and effort. And if you truly believe in what I'm doing, then you want me to help, then help me help others as well, too. At the very minimum, buy me a coffee or go ahead and become a Patreon member. Guys, other than that, don't forget to support Copville and the Copville OG podcast, Antihero podcast. Big fans of theirs. Those guys are the cat's ass. Show them love. Subscribe to their YouTube channels, Antihero Broadcast and Copville OG, and let's get their content really out there because they produce some incredible content. Other than that, you guys have a great damn night, and I'll see you next Wednesday live. But share the videos, like all the stuff, comment below.